Yeah.
Those claps were all out of sync.
Sick as peas.
It's fine. As long as I line the claps up, it'll be all right.
I don't know. I think Shaw fucked up.
No, I didn't. I was so on time this time. I can hear myself.
I think I might have
being
been a
on
bit.
time.
I might have been a bit slow, but it's all right.
It's early. It's okay, right?
I'll work it out. I guarantee it won't be the hardest bit of editing I've had to do for this show.
What was the hardest bit of editing you've done?
That time in the Christmas episode where Jack's audio cut out for the last 10 minutes, but I was in the middle of a conversation with him, and so I had to edit what I was saying and hack it together so it sounded like I was just saying a sentence to you two, as opposed to being a fucking lunatic and talking to myself.
Okay.
It worked out surprisingly well. Hello everybody, and welcome to Shouting Over the News, the 31st of March 2018 edition. This is the Season 2 of Shouting Over the Static premiere, and I am your host for the week, Mark Northfield. I'm here with Dylan. Hello Dylan.
Hello.
And I'm here with Chaw.
How's it going?
Hello Chaw.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm doing alright, Dylan. It's a relatively grey and dreary Saturday morning, which checks out for this March. And actually got quite a pleasant day considering how this March has gone. But I'm doing alright. How about you?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's similar up here, basically. It's pretty horrible. But I'm feeling okay. Quite tired. But
Yeah, well, you know, we're getting a nice early morning recording. It's quite pleasant, actually.
yeah, we're going to have the whole day ahead of us. It's going to be wonderful.
Who knows what we can achieve with the whole Saturday ahead of us where we don't have to put everything down in the middle of it to talk on the internet for an hour.
Yeah, we could rule the world or something.
I could get drunk.
Shit.
It's probably not going to happen. But who knows? It is Jay's birthday today, sort of. How about you, Chaw? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Same grey dreariness here, so that's, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but you all basically live in the same place.
What?
What?
England. It's the same place. There's no differences.
Yeah.
It's all down there. The south.
This is true. It's all the south of Scotland.
Oh, go to Edinburgh for 6 months and you become a fucking snob. Well. So, as I hinted at slightly in the intro to this, in the rambling intro to this is Shouting Over the News. Do we have a better name for this?
I don't know, it's pretty good.
Shouting Over the News? We'll call it Shouting Over the News. Ooh.
Shouting about the news.
Shouting
No,
about the
that's
news.
Worse. Shouting over the news is better.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Take that, you motherfucker. So, as discussed at the end of our previous episode, we're changing the format up slightly for what we're christening Season 2. I went and explicitly named all the previous episodes Season 1. So this is now Season 2. And the point of this is we're going to have news episodes where we ramble for 30 minutes to an hour about the last week's worth of video game news or what we've been playing or, frankly, anything else we want to ramble about. I don't know, if you've been reading any good books, that's probably fine. And then at the end of the month, we're going to talk about a game for several hours, and it's going to be planned, and we're all going to be present for it. As you noticed, Jack isn't present for this, but by God, will he be present for the main recording. And hopefully we're going to get some good hot takes. Some actual, focused content at either end of the spectrum. I think it should be fun.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah, does anyone else have
It could
anything?
end up being everything shit. That would be bad.
Yeah,
I'm
but
excited.
you're
I don't think
excited.
it will be. I think we'll go well.
Yeah, I think it has potential to be slightly more focused and slightly less bad.
And that's a good thing.
So I was looking at a little calendar just now. So this episode will be going up on Wednesday the 4th of April, which I think means that Wednesday the 2nd of March, so we call it of May, the beginning of May should be when we upload the main episode, or do you want to do it the Wednesday before, on Wednesday the 25th? How quickly do you think you can play the game in question, which we will announce in just a second?
Very quickly. I think we should do it end of April so that we can then announce the next one at the beginning of May, right?
Cool. All right. So we're gonna say now on Wednesday the 25th of April, we're gonna upload the main episode, Shouting Over Static, Season 2, Episode 1. So we'll probably have to record that on Saturday the 21st, which gives us 3 weeks to play through the game in question. And I don't know, which one of you two fight to decide who gets to announce it?
It's Doom!
Yeah, Doom 2016.
Good fight.
I won the fight, yes! Speed.
What
like
was... Yeah, it's Doom 2016. What was probably my... Oh, it's hard, because Titanfall 2 was quite profound that year, and I did really enjoy it.
Oh, but you fucking loved Doom when you played it. Definitely...
I think Doom, to me... Titanfall 2, I think... It's quite... Titanfall 2, like the campaign Titanfall 2, is quite short, but it doesn't outstay its welcome. It does a lot of really cool stuff. Doom, however, is not only incredible, but also it took them like 15 years. So Doom 3 was 2004. So it took them 12 years to make it, and they made like 3 different versions of that Doom before making this one. And the studio changed over so many times. And yet, somehow, they still produced a game that was not only an incredible modern first-person shooter, but also still very much Doom, like fucking 1992-ass Doom. Or 93, maybe. So, yeah, I don't know. I fucking love that game. I'm very hyped to play through it again. I know you two are pretty stoked to play through it for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, there's been occasions recently where I've very much nearly gone into a game and bought it because it's pretty cheap, so it's not too bad to get. And the amount you've gone on about it, it's just like I need to actually play this game. And now I feel like this is a good excuse. I won't feel bad by spending that tenner.
Yeah,
I should be like, yeah, I'm being productive. This is
making
like
that hashtag content.
Exactly. This is like homework. But enjoyable homework.
Man, imagine if homework was to play video games. Oh,
that's just...
They should make all video games, all subjects have video games.
If you studied game making, I imagine playing video games is homework.
Yeah, but I don't.
You study space. What about if you played...
space games? Yeah. No Man's Sky! Sorry.
There we go. Yeah. What about if you played fucking Elite Dangerous? And we're just like, I'm learning all about gravitational mechanics. Because I'm slingshotting my rad spaceship around this sun.
That's pretty spacey.
Yeah. It's alright.
I've got that sick segue though. That's No Man's Sky coming out. We'll talk about it after because we're still talking about Doom. But
no, I mean, if you want, like, I'm happy to say, yeah, Doom. We're going to spend a good couple of hours as a group, including Jack, the 4 of us, talking about Doom.
Yeah.
In a few weeks' time, it'll go up. It'll be the end of March episode. Hopefully, it will actually end of April episode. Sorry. Ugh. Hopefully, we will actually be able to make some good hot takes about it. We can hot takes will no longer be optional.
That was the end of season 1. Hey, did we call that season 1 hot takes optional? The last episode.
Yeah.
What a perfect last episode name.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Especially if we're now considering to go on to actually doing hot takes. I feel like that's a good last episode name. I'm proud of us.
I was a big fan of when we brought out cold takes, personally. the couple of times we came with like a resoundingly cold take, like Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time is a good video game.
Mate, I don't know what you're on about. That is the hottest take we've ever had.
Scorching hot. Mate, hot
Nobody
out
had
the
ever
frying
even
pan.
heard of that before. We were just like, yeah, it's a good video game. Like, what?
You just thought it was about
I
a
know
guy with a
that.
Ponzi emo fringe. You... Alright. Okay, so. Yeah, Doom. I'm hyped to play it again. You guys are hyped to play it for
Yeah.
the first time. We're going to talk about it. But right now, because I haven't even actually finished installing it on my computer yet, reinstalling it on my computer, we're going to talk about the last week in video game news. And as Dylan fucking pulled out in that sweet segue earlier, there was
Yeah,
a
you know it.
there was a pretty wild announcement just a mere few days ago.
Do you want me to go for it?
Yeah, sure. I realised the moment I paused that it didn't really actually matter who said it. But yeah,
Yeah,
go
that's
for it,
why
bro.
I was a bit confused about the pause. It's like, oh, am I meant to? No, No Man's Sky is coming out to Xbox now. I don't know. I had the date and I don't know when, but it's coming soon. And maybe that's important to some people.
In the summer.
So there you go.
Yeah.
And, I mean that. If they release it for a $5, I'd probably get it.
It's yeah, like it's still on digital stores. It's still like 40 quid, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still like a full game price, which is stupid.
It'll come with a free game for gold, whatever scheme, right?
No.
In time.
Yeah, in like 4 years, maybe.
Yeah, you can wait that long. It's not going to go anywhere.
By that time, at the rate they've been releasing completely game-changing updates, in 4 years' time, No Man's Sky is going to be the best fucking video game ever made.
Well, the next update coming out is called Next, so maybe it will be just,
Yeah, it's coming out at the same time, isn't it, as the Xbox
Yeah.
version.
it
No
releases
Man's
with
Sky
the-
Next. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like they've been doing some really cool stuff to that game, so... Yeah. Hype? I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit.
Nah, zero hype.
Zero hype. No hype. It's in fact anti-hype.
To be fair, we should have learned that hype is the wrong thing to have for a game such as No Man's Sky. But I mean, maybe yeah, like I said, if I'd only get it if it's cheap. I'm not going to buy that for the full price. Or if everybody says the next expansion is like literally the best game they've ever played.
They just go, man, this shit is profound. It's probably not what people are going to say about it, though.
No.
What if they say this game is perfect if you study space?
Then
I know,
I would say, I'd say, Dylan, don't believe the hype.
Ah, okay. You're a wise man. You offer sage wisdom and advice
'Cause
when I
I-
need it most.
I bet whoever says that doesn't actually study space, so they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh, but what if someone who studies space says it? Like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Except he's a bit of a balancer.
Yeah.
What if,
Yeah,
if
I
someone
wouldn't.
like cool who studies space says it? Like Mike Merrifield. Yeah.
Uh,
He's a guy.
Then maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I'd believe any of these people. I definitely wouldn't believe Neil deGrasse Tyson. I bet he's got a bad taste in video games.
He's got a bad taste in just opinions.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Me. Yeah, that's kind
Well,
of mean.
what
I'm
if
sorry.
what if Elon said it? You'd believe, right? You're a believer.
You could believe him about stuff.
Anything.
Who said it?
He is a supervillain, though. Elon
Elon-
Musk.
Oh, fuck that guy.
What? What's wrong with it?
I got absolutely no love for a man who has like more money than God and claims that he's doing all this stuff to advance the human race, but like his country's full of people horribly below the poverty line and in like absolute dire straits. He's going, well, like fucking what town is it? Is it Flint that hasn't had running water for like 3 years or something?
No, they've got. There's lead in the water, and they've just not
Yeah.
done anything about it.
Yeah, and Elon Musk is
Essentially
like,
the
don't worry,
most-
guys, I'm advancing the human race by building massive rockets to go into space. He's going, well, Maybe you should advance the human race by making everything not fucking miserable for everyone on this planet, you twat. I don't know.
But that's the whole argument of when people say, "Oh, you shouldn't be studying this or that because you could be like, why are we spending money on astronomy? Why are we spending money on like English and history and all that stuff when we could be curing cancer?" And it's like you.
But this is it, right? Like, if it was just like, I'm doing this because it's really cool, I'd be going, yes, Elon, it is fucking cool. You go, Elon, that's great. But it's all his rhetoric about how he's going to save the human race. I'm going, well, I think maybe building rockets isn't the way to do that.
Yeah, but his idea of saving the human race is literally the idea of the human race, not as people in it.
Is everyone fucking off to a different planet?
But it's like when he says he wants to save the human race, he doesn't want to save every member of the human race. He just wants to make sure that if the Earth explodes, there's still a human race.
Yeah.
Like all his comments about that seem to imply that he thinks as long as the human race survives, then that's the human race saved. Which I think is a bit silly.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think the stuff he's doing is cool. I think I'd find him a lot cooler if he was just like, what I'm doing is really cool.
Well, he's definitely a supervillain, isn't he? I mean, he's if he was a character in Superman, which he basically is, then everybody would be like, "Oh, that guy's a supervillain. Watch out."
Like, did you hear that theory that it was like Elon Musk accidentally killed somebody in a fit of rage, and the entire launch of that rocket with the Tesla in it and the dude in the driver's seat was just an elaborate plan to get the body off the planet so that no one could ever find out what he did. And there was actually a dead body inside that racing suit inside the Tesla that he put in space.
It's kind of a dark idea, man.
You kind of believe it, though, don't you?
It'd be perfect.
I'd kind of believe that Elon Musk had killed someone in a fit of rage.
This is how season 2 just never happens. We're all going to get killed by Elon Musk.
You see? Even you believe that he's a murderer.
Well, no, he'd hire people to kill us. That counts as murder.
That's classy. That's a real classy move.
We're gonna get hitmaned. Nice.
Well,
that's how hot our takes are. That someone needs to hitman us.
These guys, their critique, their gaming insight, it's too good. The human race can't handle it yet, and I'm all about saving the human race.
I don't want to die.
Oh, all right, sure.
No hot takes for me.
Okay, well, enough of my poorly thought out criticisms of Elon Musk. We've got some other sad news that happened a couple of days ago that might be relevant. It's relevant to at least me. I think it's relevant to you too because you have lived in the Midlands at one point or another. Granger Games is closing all their stores.
Oh, really?
I don't know what that is.
I do not know what that is.
Because at the time that he lived in the Midlands, George probably didn't actually ever set foot inside a video game store.
Yeah, true.
No, I did. I did set a foot in a game a lot because I've used pre-orders of games.
Like, immediately opposite game was Granger Games, which was cheaper and had nicer staff.
I've never seen it before. Seriously.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, either way, they closed down like 29 of their 60 stores or something. Or they closed 21 of their 67 stores, and then the very next day were like, oh no, we're actually closing all our stores. And yeah, it's a bunch of people are out of a job, and it looks like they literally were told to just shut the doors and not even sell all the stock. I think they have to like return all the stock to the main like depot, so it looks like there's not even going to be a sweet fire sale of all their stuff, so it's just kind of miserable, really.
I was about to say you could just go and get all that leftover stock, but nope.
Yeah, no, I could have rolled in and picked up some sweet fucking like PlayStation games, but
I'd have asked you to get me a Nintendo Switch for cheap.
Yeah, it looks like they're doing their own corporate fire sale because Granger Games is shutting down, which is sad because a bunch of people are out of a job.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
400 people, supposedly.
Yeah. It's bad shit. And that was this is in the same year that Toys R Us and Maplin have also shut down.
Yeah, actually,
I didn't know Maplin had shut down, man.
Yeah,
the other
Maplin's
Let's
day
get my electronics.
we went to Maplin and we literally saw the store shutting down forever. Like the staff were just shaking their hands and walking out. Very emotional.
Jesus.
Sad.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, man. This apparently 2018 is the year where Amazon finally kills off the high streets.
Yeah, fuck, where am I meant to get Doom for £10? Shit.
Shit.
It's fine.
Isn't it like £12 on Amazon anyway?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe I should just do that.
The PC version is £12, but I'm not sure about the other versions.
I bet the Xbox version is probably so the Xbox version is $9.42.
Nice.
And you don't even have to leave the fucking house.
Is it the fancier version? There's like a
Oh, UAC edition or something?
yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
That's what I'm supposed to
UAC pack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is on PS4 for a tenner.
Ah.
The UAC edition. It's £15 on the Xbox One.
It comes with like what, a booklet, I guess, right? A poster as well.
Oh, I'm just looking at the bog standard version for the Xbox One.
You get a handbook, fabric patches, and a poster. I don't think that's worth £5.
Oh, well, if you just get the UK standard edition, which is literally just the game for Xbox One, £9.
Nice.
Yeah, well, there we go. See, and we even enjoyed it. We are literally part of the problem.
Wait, well, no, I'm still gonna go into town and get it.
All right.
Yeah.
Where are you seeing £9? Mine still says £15 on Xbox One.
Weird.
This is strange.
The last time I set foot in a high street store was to buy The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild because my Amazon pre-order didn't come through on the day of release.
That is so long ago.
Yep.
How have you not been
It's
in a high street store
literally a year ago today, I think.
in any high street store? Or just video games?
No, in a video game high street store.
Okay, well that's fine. I
Yeah.
thought you were meaning just any. I was like, fucking
No, in a
hell,
video
that's
game high street
ridiculous. Last time I went...
To be fair, I think it has been like 6 months since I've been in a regular high street store of any
It's
sort.
intense, man. I went in a game to buy Doom like a few months ago and then didn't.
Nice.
They
Take
didn't
that
have
game.
it, which is why. It's not because I didn't want it. They just didn't have a copy.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I want to click and collect in a store, but they wouldn't let me. They just want me to order it to my house.
Even they're trying to be game. Amazon. Shit.
At their own game.
Fuck.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, so, that's my miserable bit
That's
of
just
news for this
sad.
Saturday, is the high street's fucking dying, man. I reckon by the end of 2018, shit's going to be bad. High streets are already desolate. It's just going to get worse.
It depends where you are,
Yeah.
I guess.
There's still loads of people who shop outside. They want to see the real thing. They want to touch it. They want to feel it. Mostly clothes.
This is why I want to go to Lakeland. Get myself some teaspoons. Get myself an ice cream scoop.
Teaspoons?
Like teaspoon measures.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because the ones in my halls are inconsistently sized and ended up in some overly cakey cookies, and I was very disappointed.
Alright.
No, you've
I really want an ice
got bad
cream
biscuit
scoop,
bands.
Wait, my biscuit bants are great. Just like my biscuits. I make the best biscuits and the best biscuit bants.
Shit. It's worth noting that Game reported a £10.4 million loss for the 12-month period from July 2016 to July 2017.
Fuck.
So,
Fuck.
Game probably not going to be around for much longer. They have already got into administration recently, haven't they? At one point, they had almost shut down and had to get bought by someone else.
I had no idea.
Yeah, mate. Amazon is fucking up the high street left, right, and centre.
Fucking hell, Amazon. And
You
they're
should buy
collecting
some-
all that data on us.
You should buy some ice cream scoops off Amazon. Become part of the problem.
I
Lakeland-
refuse.
Lakeland
Partly
probably
'cause they-
sells on Amazon.
There's a Lakeland near me. Fuck.
Nerd. Outside
No way.
nerd.
Game is.
Yeah, Lakeland has a store on Amazon. Man, Jeff Bezos is also evil. He's got more of an evil look than Elon.
Isn't he now also like officially the richest person on the planet?
He is, and he has a rocket company as well.
What's
A
his-
rocket company.
Yeah, Blue Origin. They're making the same things as SpaceX, but they haven't got there yet.
By
He is
same
also
things, do you mean
investing-
rockets?
Aren't they also
Okay.
investing loads of money in drones as well?
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
deliver
of course,
everything
yeah.
even quicker.
I got a same day delivery on Amazon the other day, and I thought it was fucking cool. I know, again, part of the problem, but I was at work and was like, I want this, and then I ordered it, and then when I got home, it was just at my house. I thought it was fucking rad.
It's too much.
That's cool.
Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know, does anyone have any other news stories?
Oh, yeah. I should have done a nice segue, but you're going to get a nice update for Doom, a 4K update and all that stuff on Xbox and PS4 Pro.
Do any of us have a PS4 Pro or Xbox One X?
No, not relevant, but I know. It's,
God damn.
Yeah.
Well, it's relevant to listeners, maybe. Like, Matt might have one that he never told us about.
That'd be weird.
Matt,
Yeah,
having a
Matt, if
console.
you've got a PS4 Pro, tell us about it. That's fucked up.
We're going to steal it. Wait, what?
Crime is the best.
I don't know, it seems pretty cool.
I've never met a crime person who wasn't cool. Criminal, that's the word.
Crime, but hello, I'm a person of crime. I do crime.
My mother was a crime person. My father was a crime person. I'm just keeping it in the family.
Doing crimes is the family business. Yeah, I don't know. I'd quite like to get a PS4 Pro at some point. I think that would be cool.
Me too. I don't
You
like
have a
it, though.
4K
I don't
TV
like
now,
the
don't you?
fact- Yeah, but I'm away from it now, aren't I?
Oh, yeah.
You've got 4 games on your Xbox on your PS4 that you just don't play. Why would you buy a PS4 Pro?
So I can play more games that are nicer.
But you
I'll
don't
get
play
to
them.
I'll get to them. Games don't
There is-
expire.
There are some pretty good PlayStation exclusives.
Yeah,
Like if you played Horizon Zero Dawn,
I will soon.
I've got it.
Wait, that's
It's
so
still in the
fun.
plastic on the side. It's been like that for 3 months.
Should probably play that.
I probably
How
should.
did your week off of playing God of War go well?
I'm about halfway through God of War 2. Those games are really fucking good.
Nice.
Yeah, God of War 1, I expected them to be a lot more like Devil May Cry or like Bayonetta, and to be just very much like combo focused and just fighting dudes and running around. But they're actually a lot more like they've got some cool action adventure puzzle solving stuff in them. And God of War 1, like you spend the majority of the game in this temple, which like you're always looping back on yourself and like finding new entrances back into the same area to unlock extra areas, and like it feels like a really large coherent space that you can like understand, and then by the time you actually solve it and you complete the puzzle to get out of it, you feel like you've solved it by understanding the space, and it's like a really really good like Legend of Zelda dungeon, but it lasts like 4 hours. And it's got awesome combat in it. It's pretty good. Pandora's Temple is good shit. It's most of that game, and it's legit. Yeah, the first couple of hours in Athens were pretty average. They were fine. But yeah, but that bit in Pandora's Temple, really, really impressed by. And then yeah, God of War 2, it's cool. It makes a lot of really, really, really smart improvements on God of War 1. Yeah, like the way that they've streamlined a lot of the just like even just down to the controls and the interfaces, and just being like in God of War 1, if you wanted to open a door, you have to fucking tap R2, whereas in God of War 2, you hold R1 and then you tap circle, which is it's a lot easier to tap with your thumb than with your index finger, and just lots of little like small changes to the way you use the controller. So you're still kind of doing the same thing, but it feels a lot better. I don't know. I'm thoroughly impressed.
Good. I'm
Thoroughly
glad.
impressed. Yeah, I'd never played God of War 2. Hadn't played God of War 1 in ages, and forgot. Yeah, how good. Like, I think I've played so many other games since that I understand why Pandora's Temple is fucking rad and really well made now. Like, Pandora's Temple and God of War 1's really good. And, yeah, God of War 2 is cool. I'm about halfway through, I think. I was looking at, a list of, the areas in the game to see sort of how far I was through. I'm about halfway through. I'm stuck on a pretty hard puzzle. Like I spent about half an hour yesterday trying to work it out, and I just fucking lost completely. So I went to lunch and just didn't think about it again. But yeah, seems cool. Fucking gorgeous as well. That remaster, I'm well impressed.
Is it 60 FPS as well?
Yeah, 720p, 60 FPS.
Smooth as fuck.
But yeah, especially God of War 1 looks all right, but God of War 2 just like it animates really, really well. There's like a lot of variance to it. There's a lot of really intricate environments. Like I'm really, really hyped to see what they do with 3, if I'm honest. Because if 3 is on par but better looking, or even an equal step up, it's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, but no, they're cool games. They're very cool games.
Cool. Yeah, 3 is, I think, probably the best one. No, that's a lie. I think 2 is better than 3 in terms of just overall content. But it looks
Yeah,
better.
my understanding
It
is
looks
2
so
is the
good.
longest one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping that PS4 remaster as well. That's like 1080p 60 will really put some polish on it. Because like they've made, I'm guessing when God of War 2 came out on the PlayStation 2, it was like one of the best looking PlayStation 2 games. Because
Yeah, it's like end of the console life game, isn't it?
it's like 2007, so I think like the PlayStation 3 was out.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Yeah. Shit. You're right.
Yeah, like it's pretty mad. But yeah, I'm absolutely blown away by it. If I'm honest, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to your thoughts on 2 and 3 after you finish them.
I think 1 definitely is just like you're gonna fight some mythical beings, and you're gonna also fight the God of War. 2 is a lot more where they start going, right, well, we've sort of done our big God of War fight. Now Kratos is just pretty pissed, and so now we're going to start just fighting everything. And so 2's when they get really into like, okay, here's the fucking, like it opens with someone animating the Colossus of Rhodes and you fighting the Colossus of Rhodes. And then it's like, we're going to have a Pegasus, we're going to have a bunch of Titans, you're going to meet Prometheus. It starts to then get really, really like into its own, or like into the Greek mythology stuff, like a lot more than 1 did. Like 2, I think, is where it really goes hard on that shit. It's cool. Again, I think it's really cool.
Sad I can't check it out.
You should.
You can always pick up a PS2.
Yeah, you could get a PS2 for really cheap.
I could get a PS3 for fairly cheap, to be fair.
Yeah, this is true.
Or emulate it. I think you can emulate PS2 games properly.
Oh, how dare you be so blasé about piracy, you piece of shit.
It's pretty
Alright.
shitty, man.
If you buy the games and then emulate it, you're gonna get probably better enjoyment, better performance. I'm not sure about that actually.
Yeah, like spend like the 20 quid that I spent to get the games, and then you can just pyro whatever the fuck you want. That's how that works, right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It is, right? What? No, but if you paid for the games and then go and pirate it.
Yeah, but you're still then like emulating the PlayStation.
Yeah?
So that's just like pirating a PlayStation.
That's not piracy at all. That's totally legal. Emulation's totally legal.
Yeah.
What is piracy is if you steal the BIOS, because there is firmware on disc-based consoles that you're not supposed to just take. However, I was reading about this. It's not piracy if you have someone who has no idea how the PlayStation works, and you put them. They call it like a white room decomposition or something, where you basically put them in a room with the PlayStation and they have no previous knowledge of how the PlayStation works, and they reverse engineer the BIOS, and that's not piracy. So that's a weird way how some like emulators that are being sold as products get around piracy laws. But technically emulating isn't piracy because you're not actually taking any code. It's only piracy if you're taking code.
Prove that you reverse engineered it and didn't just steal it, though?
So that is the fucking £1 million question right there.
Just look, you run that plagiarism code that unis have on their code for the.
How similar is this code?
Also,
it's weirdly identical.
I think it's also a little bit better to say that emulation is okay, because they're always going to be only working when the relevant consoles are no longer relevant. You know, they only work like a few years after the life cycle of the console.
Can't you already emulate Breath of the Wild though?
But on a Wii U.
Yeah.
Which is functionally irrelevant and has been since the day it came out.
Man, it's just sad.
Hey, I love my Wii U. I think
it's a great
Super Mario 3D World and Mario Maker and Breath of the Wild and Bayonetta 2 are all fucking dope video games. But that console's pretty irrelevant. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Poor Wii U.
Yeah,
so hard.
If they'd just given it a different name, I think it could have done a lot better.
Yeah, if they hadn't called it Wii. Because that's what confused everyone.
Yeah.
They could have called it Wii 2.
Yeah, the Wii 2.
Helped.
That'd have been way better. People would have at least thought it was a second Wii as opposed to a tablet for the Wii.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, isn't it? Because like the first announcement of a console is always the thing that gets so much hype that is what news is still based on. And so, like when they first announced the Wii U, and I remember this, it was literally just here's the tablet. Like, they didn't even show off the box for a while. They were just showing the tablet.
Yeah.
Which led to a lot of people going, like, is this just a tablet? And that stays in the general public consciousness far longer than it stays in, like, our consciousness, because we're involved in that shit. And so you get, like... I was listening to a podcast literally the other week where someone said that they were talking to a friend of theirs, and their friend was like, yeah, but the Xbox's not that great, is it? Because it always has to be online. I just go, no, that hasn't been the case since before it came out. But that was the case when it was first announced back in like 2012. And so that's how it stayed.
I'm still so salty that people got that changed.
It's too soon, man. They were ahead of the time.
That's exactly what gaming is like now. They knew what was coming, they were prepared for it, and then fucking stupid idiots ruined it. Twats. Everybody has an internet connection. You can't really play any video games without one.
In the UK, it is a slightly different story. I do think that in the US there are less people with less,
Stable internet connection.
yeah, with like constant good internet.
Yeah.
It's like in the UK,
Australia.
it's actually relatively inexpensive to get like pretty solid internet to your door, and it's a little bit more expensive in other places. But I do get what you mean, because it is kind of maddening.
Crackdown would already be out. Ugh.
Fuck off.
It would be. They had
No way.
to change that. They had to change that because that basically entirely ran off of the cloud-based stuff, right?
It still does. The multiplayer, my understanding is the multiplayer in that still does run off the cloud.
But they must have had to change it because the whole
Why? It's the
system that it was
multiplayer.
using. But the multiplayer originally was going to run off essentially like it would use other people's machines to power
Yeah.
this world, that it'll do it together. But can it do that anymore? Is that something that
Yeah.
the Xbox still has the functionality to do?
I believe so.
Well then,
I think
Crackdown
mine,
just need to get their shit
because
together.
it was only recently. It was within the last year, because I think it might have been last E3. I saw an interview with one of the devs of Crackdown, and he was like, "Yeah, no, we're still doing all the crazy destruction stuff with our multiplayer, and it's still running off the cloud, and we're still having everything. Like, if you have more people in the map, then you can do more highly detailed destruction." Because that was where he said that thing of like, people keep asking us to put the destruction in the single player, but what they don't understand is, if you put destruction in the single player, we can't tell a single player story because the island would just be flattened and it would be impossible to actually do anything. And I was like, yeah, that does explain why they do that. So I think that is still in Crackdown. I think the problem with Crackdown is just that like no one quite knows how to make a good Crackdown single player experience.
Yeah. Just because you can't really, can you? I mean, Crackdown 1 and 2 are pretty shit. Well, I've not actually played 2. Crackdown 1 is pretty shit. In a
Yeah.
fun way.
Hey, it had that Halo 3 beta. It's literally the only reason that anyone gives a fuck about Crackdown. No one would have ever played Crackdown 1.
With it.
But like, yeah, but would you have ever picked up Crackdown 1 if it didn't have a Halo 3 beta attached to it?
I got Crackdown 1 well after it came out. I got it for like £1.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, well, in that case, like, there are some bad video games that you could enjoy for £1.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I wouldn't have got it for full price. Well, I might have ended up getting it and then being like, oh, this is disappointing. But
And then being like, Halo 3 beta, though? Whoa.
yeah. But yeah, it was the kind of game that I think had promising ideas, but then was a little bit, they just didn't put anything in it.
Yeah, I thought that getting agility orbs was pretty fun. In the same way that, like, running around the map in Ubisoft games and collecting all that bullshit so you can get more powerful is also pretty fun.
Yeah.
It scratched the same itch. But otherwise, yeah. Crackdown 3. It might come out. Maybe.
We might see it at E3 again.
It might actually come back to E3. That'd be nuts, wouldn't it?
It's meant to come out this year, but it still only says, like, spring 2018 or something.
Spring is
That's
the
like
way.
now.
Yeah, that's literally now, and it's not out. It might be summer 2018, but I'm fairly certain it was spring 2018.
Says here, release December 31st, 2018.
That might just be because they've heard it's 2018, because I remember Googling this, I think, last time we spoke about it. And,
Here we go. According to its Wikipedia entry, Crackdown 3 was set to be released worldwide in 2016, changed to 7th of November 2017, and it was delayed on the 16th of August 2017 to December 31st, 2018.
Jeez.
there was an article recently saying that apparently Phil Spencer says, we have a plan and a team is locked in on their date. We will talk about it more upcoming, but won't be too long. Wait, won't be too long.
Hey, alright, well, we'll probably see it at E3 then.
Sounds like there's going to be something before that.
E3 is in like 2 months. Like, what?
Yeah, it's
What
so
do they have before that?
Shit, yeah.
There isn't anything
Apparently,
before E3,
Amazon listed Crackdown with a June 29th release date.
Ooh,
Slipped up.
Amazon's always dropping hot releases early. Did you see that they leaked that Burnout Paradise remaster
Oh,
like a
really?
month early? Yeah, like Amazon Portugal were like, "Hey, Burnout Paradise remaster's coming out in March," and then like the next week, EA was like, "Ah, you gods."
It's always one of the. It's going to say it's always one of those Spanish countries. It's always one of those Mediterranean countries as well, or India, because that's what happened with Game of Thrones, isn't it? Spain, HBO Spain or something released
Yeah,
one of the episodes early, and then HBO India did it.
God,
Wasn't it
that's-
the final or the penultimate episode?
It was like the penultimate episode, yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
it was a good day.
Oh, that was gross, Joe.
What?
That was a good day.
Okay, I see. The noise. You know what else is coming out really soon? In June?
No.
Jurassic World Evolution.
Oh, it looks so crap.
What? It looked cool!
That trailer is so bad.
Oh, the train. Yeah.
Isn't that the one with?
Well, I mean, the trailer is all we've seen, Chalk.
Wait, hold on. I'm not talking about the film. I'm talking about the game.
Yeah, the one with
yeah,
the one with Jeffy G in it.
yeah. It's a RTS game, I guess. No, it's a car
Yeah.
simulator.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be like that. They've already made one of these. There is
Yeah,
already a Jurassic Park
Genesis.
simulator. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly the one I'm thinking of.
I played it a lot. It was so enjoyable.
I believe
because,
that.
like, you
Fucking
get
nerd.
the whole, the storm scenario and all the Jurassics. No, all the dinosaurs go nuts and you have to go shoot them. It's fucking cool.
I would totally buy into a version of Jurassic Park where they used a Walking Dead style, totally useless renaming of zombies. So they don't like Walking Dead, they call zombies walkers. I'd be into a dinosaur thing where they call dinosaurs Jurassics. That would be all right, sure.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I think that'd be great too. Except, apart from...
So few of them are actually from the Jurassic period,
yeah,
though.
exactly. That's what I was going to say.
You can't call them Cretaceous, though, can you?
Cretaceous.
Crusties. There we go.
We should start referring to us as Pliocene. That's us, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, something like that.
I think so.
Damn it, more science banter.
We need some anthropologists.
Yeah, we do. This is not
Yeah.
even...
That's exactly what we need on staff for this podcast, an anthropologist. God, fuck it, damn it. Right. Does anybody else have any news? Does anybody have any opinions on Far Cry 5? Is anybody going to play it?
I heard zero information about Far Cry, really. So
I've heard it's kind of bad. Well, it's kind of not memorable.
Yeah, I've
That's
heard that it's a totally fine Far Cry game, but it doesn't do anything worthwhile in any way with its story, and it's actually just kind of disappointing and doesn't even flesh out its bad guys as well as Pagan Min or Vars. And so I'm just kind of like, well, alright, I'll come to that when it's cheap.
yeah.
Which is a shame, because Far Cry 3 was so good that Far Cry 4 was a fucking day one purchase for me.
Yeah. But
And
ah,
whatever you say about Pagan Min's sum total of 10 minutes in that game, he was pretty fucking good.
yeah.
And that game was enjoyable. But it's a shame they couldn't make good of it.
They had a lot to work from with this Far Cry 5 character as well. I mean, it seems like it's a character you could make great, but you could also offend some people pretty easily.
Yeah, apparently there is some, pretty egregious, centrist both sidesism in Far Cry 5, where it's even though you start off as a state trooper or something, you end up, joining a good militia so you can fight the bad militia. and all this other stuff where they tried to be like, oh, well, maybe not all militias are bad, and oh, well, cults aren't the yeah, it all seems. And like my understanding is like there's a bunch of weird like Trump references in it, but they're not like Trump sucks. They're just Trump references. I don't know. It seems like instead of making a really interesting political statement, they didn't make any statement whatsoever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Games are art now, man. They need to learn this.
Well, I think they could have got away with it better if they hadn't have spent the entire first year marketing Far Cry 5 as being like something really political and intense and like
Yeah.
cool, and then not actually doing anything with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like maybe when they started making this game, they didn't necessarily expect the US political climate to do what it did, and they maybe got caught out by that. I think maybe if the US political climate hadn't done what it did, people would be far less expectant for Far Cry 5 to make a statement.
I don't think any of us expected the US political climate.
What, just shit the bed for an entire year. Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm interested in playing it from a mechanical perspective, but apparently, like, it's just buggy enough and just totally average enough. Like, do you see it's getting like 3 stars and 6.5s and that kind of thing?
Fucking hell, really?
Yeah, it's not. It hasn't taken the world by storm in any way whatsoever.
That's kind of awful.
IGN gave it 8.9. They said it was great.
Lol, IGN.
Let's not talk about IGN on here. We have mentioned. Fuck IGN. Nah, look, it's got a pretty good Metacritic score, to be fair.
Yeah, well, fair. Is the user score okay? Because I mean, that's kind of a big part of it, isn't it?
Let's go
The
to.
user score is lower than critic score.
It's got like a 7.2.
Okay. I desperately need the loo, so I'm going to quickly go there and ruin this bit of the recording.
Well, why don't we just say this is done, and you can say goodbye, and then we'll bounce. Because
Okay,
we haven't got much left to say really. We've rambled enough.
Because I'm about to burst.
All right, laters, mate.
See you next week, folks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's the strangest ending we've ever had.
All right, sure. Let's do the outro. Find us at SoundCloud and iTunes and YouTube. Look up the name of this show. You'll find it.
Oh, but you can't do that anymore. The name of the show is still,
Oh yeah, look up Shouting Over Static and you'll find us everywhere on the internet. Sweet. Done.
Yep.
Easy peasy. All right, sure. Have a good one, buddy.
Yeah, you too, mate.
Bye.